Hi, I'm Martha. I'm the admissions director at Kansas City Academy. We're a grades 6 through 12 independent school in the Waldo neighborhood of Kansas City. KCA offers a holistic education where we integrate arts into our whole curriculum. We have a strong focus on social justice, and at the core of our philosophy are the values of diversity and inclusion. We created this video to show you what the KCA community is about. If you'd like to learn more about our school, please visit our website at kcacademy.org.
I don't think I would have become this creative and this good at communicating if I didn't come to KCA.
For me, Kansas City Academy has always been a place that I can call almost a second home. The system that we use in the school, in which we all have to work together, no one gets to sit behind and do nothing, really helps us all come together as more of a community and almost as a family, depending on how close you are with your fellow students and staff members.
Callie, what's your favorite part about KCA?
I think the community that we have, because it's a smaller school, so we're able to get to know people better and be closer with them, and the teachers can also adapt to our individual needs when we need that to happen.
Bit of a culture shock for me when I showed up at KCA, but because I wasn't so used to letting my walls down and letting teachers, form a bond with me. It's a lot more caring and supportive. That's what I would say.
I think it's because we're all a family, and KCA is kind of like a second home. And so if that gets taken away, even though it's temporary or something, we still want to be connected and be together and still have that same environment, even though we're not in the same room.
It was just the community and the atmosphere and the people and really the connections that you make are it's unique and beautiful and lovely.
I would say kind of the thing that everybody says, just because it's one of the best parts of KCA, is the community and the students and the parents and the teachers. And there's not really a sense of home that a lot of other schools have. And KCA is really unique in that way, that everybody knows everyone. Everyone is pretty much friends with everyone, and everyone gets along, and it's really great. Another question that I get asked a lot is, do you have to be an art kid to go to KCA? Which is definitely not the case. There are a lot of kids that go to KCA for the arts programs, but a lot of kids don't. And you don't have to be a theater kid or be in a band to be able to go there. So yeah, everyone is very inclusive.
Student-teacher ratio is a lot different than most other schools, not only because there's not as many teachers, but we just have a really, really small amount of students. The strongest connections I've had with teachers in all of my schooling has been from KCA. I mean, it's been the best schooling experience I've had.
Crew is basically our version of homeroom. You have a crew leader, which is a teacher. Sometimes you have two, and you do a lot of projects themed around social justice and analyzing your work and what work you've done well and what you haven't.
When we went to KCA, both of us were very much reminded of our old school, even though ours was larger, in terms of the way that KCA educates the whole child. And I know that all schools say that that's their model. But KCA educates the whole child in the sense of teaching critical thinking, teaching analytical thinking, not just teaching memorization and that sort of thing. So in that manner, KCA is a college prep school, but not college prep in the traditional model.
I think that KCA is more hands-on and more discussion-centered. They get to have a discussion in class, and then they get to go out into the community and meet community members on topics that are related. So if they're studying a book, there might be 3 or 4 themes in the book, and then they'll do 3 or 4 activities in the community that relate to the book. And so they're getting a hands-on version of learning as well as just the reading and writing.
Getting to know the kids and understanding a little bit about their personalities and who they are and what's working for them. it's not just, hey, it's a small class size, so of course, the teacher's going to know the kids. Well, that's not always the case. You have to still really work at that, I think. And I feel like all the folks at KCA do that. They really try and understand what works better.
We've seen that kind of meet the kids where they are aspect in really different ways, because both of our kids are super different learners.
My feeling after almost a year here at KCA is that we don't necessarily prepare you for a blue-collar track or a white-collar track or a university track. We prepare you to be successful in life and in whatever path that you choose. We'll give you the tools to be successful.
One of my favorite things to do is to teach, is in teaching. My 8th graders, physical science, is that my sound, waves, and music unit. So we're in the midst of that right now. At the end of the semester, we're going to build an instrument and use it to explain and demonstrate science concepts we've learned, maybe as many as 20. I love teaching science. I hope to see you in my class one day.
When you're able to have a class where you can just throw a big question out there, they're excellent at thinking about it and then coming up with, wow, what about this? And how about this? And I just think it's not always possible in a lot of classes, And so the fact that it's possible in this class, I think gives them the place and the opportunity to allow those brains to just go crazy. Fun.
Anybody in the building you could talk to, you could be like, I'm having a rough day, and they'd be there. And that's a really lovely feeling to have that.
Students come to me quite often and say, I'm really worried about my friend, and of course they're adolescents, and so there's a little bit of like, don't tell the adults what's going on, but that's so much less at KCA than everywhere else I've worked. Because I think it just speaks to the care that students feel from us as the adults in the building, and it transfers, like Martha's saying, that they then feel like they are caretakers for each other. And so that is just a really beautiful thing to see.
The community of KCA puts so much stress on it being okay to be who you are and express what you want to express in the way that you want to express it. And we're here to help you get there instead of telling you that it's wrong and you need to do it this other way.
If I were speaking to a parent who wanted to come to KCA or was looking at whether or not KCA would work for their student, I would say the reason I'm on the board now is because the experience that we had with our own child was so life-changing that we wanted to make sure that it would be there forever for any child who needed it.